Hi everybody, this is Intuitive Spirit Manifested 444, and I want to talk to you today about the North Node, and how do you go towards your North Node. So, in astrology, there is a point called the North Node, or it's called Rahu Ketu, and that is basically your South Node and your North Node, your past life and your life purpose here, that you have reincarnated to become. And I want to shed some light more about the North Node. I spoke about it a little bit in the past astrology videos, but this I believe to be one of the most important points in astrology, and so therefore I know that it's a really good thing for me to talk about. Anyone who doesn't understand the North Node, the South Node, I want to shed some light on that so that it's, clearer for us. So that we understand how important it is to actually go towards our North Node. Now, in a past life, if you believe in past lives, if not, when you were younger, your South Node is, represents that part of yourself. The past karma, the way, in terms of past lives, we've been doing the same things over and over and over again for the past few lifetimes that we've been here, that we have incarnated on earth. We have been doing the same things. If you were a Cancer in the past, you were a mother. You were a mother figure in the past life. And so you have many years, thousands of years perhaps experience of being a mother. If you were, if you have Gemini in your South Node, then you were a big communicator. You were a Gemini. You were someone who was a great communicator. You had a lot of knowledge about a lot of different things. And people listened to you because of, you were such a great communicator. If you have Leo in the South Node, you were, famous. Everybody knew who you were. You were something, sensational. And, you did that for, lifetimes. We're going to go to the North Node. And what you incarnated here to do is now, the complete opposite. So in astrology, there are polar opposites. So each point in a Rahu Ketu is going to be the polar opposite of the signs. So if you have Cancer in your South Node, in your North Node, it will be Capricorn. If you have Aquarius in your South Node, in your North Node, it's going to be Leo. If you have Taurus in your South Node, your North Node is going to be Scorpio, because these are the polar opposites to each of these signs. And so what that means is that you want to be, in this life, you don't want to go in the same direction that you have been going for the past lifetimes that you have been here. You want to go in a new way, because the old way is tired. You have run it into its course. You have done everything possible related to that South Node. And so now you have come into this life to be a completely different, follow a complete different path, and to break away from old karmic cycles that you inherited from your South Node. Because you're doing so many things. You live past lives, and so the past lives that you live, you raked up a lot of karma, as we do in this life. And so in this life, when you're going towards your North Node, you have a lot of karma to get through. And I want to explain how important it is to go into your North Node. Now, the North Node will bring you ultimate fulfillment. It's something that will make you very, very happy and feel fulfilled in this lifetime. But it's not, the easiest thing to go towards, because say, if you've been, a certain way for a long, long time, how do you just break away and become someone different? How do you just break away and start to do a complete, 180? How do you just change? It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of practice. And, you know, a lot of us get so comfortable in our south node because it's what we're used to. But life is challenging us to break away from what we're used to and do something completely different. And that's, brings forth the north node. Now, in life, you're going to, meet people. You're going to run across people who are the sign or have the energy or characteristics of the sign of your north node. So if you have, let's say, Aquarius on your north node, and you run across Aquarian people, they're going to irritate you. They're not going to be like, heaven on earth for you, not necessarily, because they're completely different from you. You are on the complete other end of the spectrum when it comes to, the way that they move around in life, and when you meet people who are, we're going to go with Aquarius sun, and your Aquarius north node. When you meet that Aquarius person, that person's going to rub you the wrong way because, you're like, no, I don't understand nothing. I don't understand how you do this, how you do that. I don't understand the way of your life. You're going to kind of want to pull away from them because they're going to say things to you that's going to irritate you instantly. But the irritation can be a good thing because the person of the sign that sits on your north node, see, the Aquarius person on the north node, they're going to teach you about how to be an Aquarian. What better, not teachings can you get than from someone who is actually living that? So Aquarians, they're going to drop knowledge on you. They're going to, say things. They're going to do things that is going to show you how to move towards, your north node. Mind you, just because the people of your north node is going to irritate you, it doesn't mean that your south node is going to be easier. Because when you meet people from the other end of your south node spectrum, they're going to irritate you just as much. And I say that because if you have been doing something for a long, long time, and you have, been doing it for years and years, lifetimes, and you meet someone in this lifetime and say, we're going to go with Leo because I said Aquarius. That Leo person is going to irritate you too. Because you're going to look at the Leo person like, you're not, when they come around you and they have that essence of the sign that's on your south node, you're going to, respond to them in a way that's like, you're not, I'm not, impressed. You're not showing me, anything that I haven't been doing for the past lifetimes. That's the kind of like energy that you're going to, have with those people on your south node. And it's going to be conflict because they're going to rile you up, because of that. It's just like someone coming into your life and, doing something that you've been doing for a long time, and they're trying to make a, spectacle of themselves like, look at me, look at me. That's how it's going to feel to you when you're dealing with your south node. Like they're just like, look at me. Well, you're going to be responding like, well, look at you. Like, I've been doing this, So, and people of your south node, in your south node, it in this lifetime, it's not going to bring you happiness. Nevertheless, some people choose never to grow. Some people choose to stay in their south node. And I would say that's, pretty tough because you're not going to be satisfied if you choose not to grow in this lifetime. If you choose not to expand your mind and go towards your north node, you're going to be very unemotionally fulfilled. Because you didn't complete your life purpose, which was to, become knowledgeable about something else, to go in a different way. Even though it's difficult, it's not the easiest thing to go towards your north node. It's very necessary because it's going to give you the ultimate, happiness, the, emotional satisfaction that you need. And, while you're on your journey, the more and more that you, expand yourself, as, going into your north node, it requires you to study the sign that's on the cusp of your North Node. Study the qualities. Study the beliefs. Study their way of life, their ideologies, their principles, and try to incorporate that into your life as a North Node, because that you're going to embody those qualities. You're going to try your best to embody those qualities. Now, if you are, say a Pisces North Node, then you want to spend as much time being creative as possible. You want to paint. You want to, write poetry. You want to get deeply involved into spirituality. You want to be as compassionate to others as possible. You want to be a complete Piscean. You want to embody their qualities. And you want to stay away from Virgo qualities of being practical. You want to kind of, get in your head. Think a lot. Get stuck into your dreamy world. As a Piscean, you want to take on those qualities. And you'll find that as you go in towards your North Node, as a matter of fact, that's what the ancestors want us to do. I had a viewer, ask me, how are, what other ways can you call on to the ancestors? Or me personally, how do I do it? Well, I found that the further I got into my North Node, the further I, got away from my South Node and started to really take my North Node serious and started to really study the sign on the cusp of my North Node, and started to really get a grasp of who this sign is, and incorporate it into my life. The more I started to come across the ancestors, the more they came into my life, the more they would come into my life through so many synchronicities, symbols, or through other people. I started to experience that. I started to see the numbers. I started to, meet people who would push me towards my North Node, or who would say something that would push me towards my North Node. And I found that they came more and more. The more and more I got away from the old me, that here they were. You started to see them in your dreams more. You started to see the synchronicities. If you get deeper enough into your North Node, they will you will hear the little voices, and it won't be your voice, but you will hear voices. Know that that's spirit. Know that that's your spirit guides. Know that those are your ancestors, and they are calling on you to go towards your North Node. They're calling on you to heal. They're calling on us to heal, because as I have stated, a lot of us are not healed. A lot of us are trying to pick up the pieces, or trying to move forward, trying to get ourselves together, but we're not fully healed. And that's what the ancestors really need us to do, is to heal, so that we can connect. You see, we need our chakras aligned. We need to be balanced. We need to be perceptive, and we need to use our intuition. We need to pray a lot. We need to meditate. We need to call on them. And as we start to do those things, we will see, oh, okay, the ancestors are near. But again, you want to go towards your North Node. I would suggest that you even study the houses, because each house that the North Node is in is going to give you even more detail about, what you were here to do. Your South Node in each house is going to show you what who you were in a past life. And yes, astrology goes that deep. It's going to show you who you were in a past life, what you were like. And the sign on the North Node is going to show you the way that you need to go. And you recommended everybody kind of, learn their houses, learn their chart, learn their North Node, and study it. And, memorize your chart, because that is part of the Akashic Records. Because that is a part of the Akashic Records. I'm going to say again. It's the key to who you were and who you are meant to be. All in that birth chart is going to show so many things. And in terms of your North Node, you want to go towards your North Node. You don't want to be in your South Node. You don't want to live this life unfulfilled. You were brought here to fix any, correct any karma that you created in a past life. And so you don't want to, make more karma for yourself by staying in your North Node and not growing. No, you want to, create less karma by going towards your North Node, by being different than what you have, been before. And that's pretty much your North Node. If you have any questions regarding the North Node, please, comment on here and let me know. But talk to you later. This is Intuitive Spirit Manifested 444.